Hi, I'm Suzanne, and this is Supercharge Your Health. We like to remind everyone, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the buttons. You can get a hold of us at info@superchargeyourhealth.com, or you can comment on any of our videos or podcasts. And I'm going to turn it over to Beth to introduce our guest today.
Woohoo! All right. Hi, everybody. This is Bethany Stockdale, your Total Body Wellness Center. I'm going to give you my contact information just from the start today. It's 800 East Venice Avenue, Suite C, here in Venice, Florida, 34285. You can call me, text me at 941-468-7091. And I am very excited about today's program. A friend of mine and myself went up to the Sarasota Farmers Market on Saturday in search of actually broccoli microgreens is why we went up there. But I had the privilege and the honor of meeting two fabulous people and that do omega-3 innovations. And we're going to talk a little bit about what omega-3 fish oils are and what they do for your brain health. For those of you that may or may not know, I am a certified brain health coach with Dr. Daniel Amen Clinics. And so it's part of his nutritional foundation for anyone as far as brain health goes includes omega-3 fish oils. Your brain, a little lesson here, your brain is 80% water, so drink your water. And if you dehydrated your brain, then 60% of what was left is saturated fat. So we need to feed our brains what they're made of. And one of the best ways is omega-3 oils. So just some of the benefits. When you have low levels, and I'm just going to read here so that I don't forget anything. Low levels of omega-3s are associated with depression, primarily. I see a lot of that now coming in through the doors here of the Wellness Center and getting folks to get their omega-3s. Obesity, Alzheimer's, heart disease, strokes, ADD. Omega-3s can really help with ADD, especially ADHD, that hyperactive form of it. Autism. The benefits, obviously, for your heart, your skin, your eyes, your joints, your brain. And those of you that are on a wellness journey that includes losing weight, omega-3s can actually help with your decrease your appetite and control some of your cravings. So that's another added benefit. It definitely helps with different parts of your brain. I can get more specific. If you're interested, you can contact me, again, with the depression, anxiety, mood stability, as far as your brain goes, and some insomnia. So, Suzanne, we may be talking about more omega-3s for you, for your sleep issues we were talking about off screen. All right, so without further ado, I'm here to introduce from Omega-3 Innovations right here in Venice, Dr. Bo Martinson, and I'm just going to turn this right over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. My background is that I practiced family medicine for many years in Norway, and in addition, I'm a specialist in preventive medicine.
Woohoo!
And my wife, Dr. Anne-Marie Chalmers, she has the same background. She's originally from the United States, and we moved back to this country more than 20 years ago. And we started working with omega-3 more than 20 years ago. And the basic reason was that we see that omega-3 is crucial for all kinds of health conditions and making the cells work in a proper way. And I like to tell physicians that who are into research or treatment of chronic illnesses that there is no way that they will get around omega-3 or melatonin, which is the other substance that we are working with. That is the fundamental basis for anything to work. And the reason is that if you do not have enough omega-3 in your cell membranes, whether it's for the brain or in the rest of your body, your cells will not be able to communicate with each other in a decent way, and they will not be able to transmit the signals from the outside the cells into the cells.
There you go.
And the problem now is that the amount of omega-3 most people have in the body is catastrophically low. and it's getting worse and worse. And we know that one reason is that people are eating less and less fish. It's only two sources where you get all the different omega-3 molecules. And one is fish, and the other one is breast milk. And that is why feeding the babies, breastfeeding the babies.
There's really only one way for most of us.
For adults, there's one source.
That's it. So if you read about omega-3 coming from vegetables, that means that the omega-3 that you will get is only one member of a whole family. So this is just a question of just one omega-3 is getting all of them. And the only way to get it then as an adult is eating fish.
Right.
Or what we have done is to focus on the freshness of the fish oil. And that's where you find that the omega-3 is in the oil, it's a fat.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you for a second. A couple of questions. How many grams of oil do you guys recommend for anyone for optimal health?
Well, number one is that you have to look at the amount of omega-3 in the oil, because it's only a part of the fish oil that's omega-3. And if you are eating sardines, about 30% of the fish oil will be a natural omega-3 molecules. And in salmon, it will be much less than that.
Oh, wow.
So
there's less
when
in
people
salmon.
are saying,
But I don't like salmon.
right. So when people say that I'm taking 2 or 3 grams of fish oil, then I have no idea what they are taking. Are they talking about the 2 or 3 grams of EPA and DHA, which are the active ingredients?
Correct.
Or are they talking about the whole oil?
Okay, now, and so we're going to step back here for just a second. You can go ahead and hold
Okay.
on. Everybody's like, well, fish oil, what form does it typically come in? This is what we typically see as your fish oil capsules. Now, if we're going to shoot for 2 or 3 grams a day, let's just use that as a standard, you would need to have 4 of these to get that 2 or 3 grams a day. Now, what I'm hearing from my clients is, and this is why I was so excited about your products, is a lot of folks have a hard time swallowing this size of a capsule. Either it's hard to swallow, or it repeats on them and comes up. So what I'd like you to describe is what oil you have and how it's different from the traditional, what we're used to.
So let me come with one correction first.
Okay.
If this is a natural fish oil, it's maximum 30% omega-3 in this one.
Okay.
So if you want to get more than 2,000 milligrams of EPA DHA, which is typically the dose that we recommend, between 2,000 and 4,000,
Okay.
you would need about 6 of these.
And nobody I know is going to swallow 6
No.
of these.
So that is the first issue, that very few people are interested in taking that large amount of
This many,
fish oil
right.
capsules.
It's possible I do it,
Yeah.
but now that I found these guys,
Well,
So-
and does it matter, because I know there's like just omega-3s and then there's like omega-369.
oh wow, that's a whole nother program,
Yeah.
I think.
So is
Yeah.
the 369 better than just a regular omega, or?
The challenge at this point is we just have to increase the omega-3 content. So at this point we can ignore the omega-6 that people typically will get too much of.
Well, that's the bad.
Yeah.
If we
But-
have to talk in terms of good and bad, omega-6
Yeah.
bad.
So it's really complicated science, but you are touching into another crucial point, and that is that when people take fish oil capsules, they start having fishy burps afterwards or discomfort.
Right.
And then I always tell people, when you go to the finest seafood restaurant, do you expect the fish to taste fishy?
No.
And are you expecting that half an hour afterwards that you are going to start feeling the fishy taste?
It's usually the garlic, not the fish.
Right. The reason that people get this reaction when they are taking fish oil capsules is that the oil is rancid. Period.
Oh, yikes.
Is rancid.
Okay.
And rancid fish oil is toxic. So
So that bottle that's been sitting in my cupboard now for a year needs to be thrown away.
Be gone.
Because it wasn't good when I was taking it before, so now I
Right.
really need to get rid of it.
So would you take fish, fresh fish, put it in room temperature for a year and go and enjoy yourself taking it?
Oh, no!
So what we focused on many years ago was the idea that even eating cod liver is a delicacy the first day, but not the next day because of the oxidation. Fresh fish has absolutely no fishy taste or smell.
Right.
So what we had to do was to focus on the freshness. And what we then discovered was that when people got enough of our fresh cod liver oil,
So the liver is made from cod.
right,
Got it?
that's where you have the highest concentration of omega-3. It's
Got it.
from the liver.
Okay.
It should be possible to have an oil without any fishy taste or smell. So we used about 10 years to develop a manufacturing process where we would be able to protect the oil so that it would not be oxidized. And the result is that we have an oil without any fishy taste or smell. We can make cosmetics, we can make chocolate, we can make cookies, or people can take the oil by itself and add it to fruit juice or yogurt or whatever.
And I just want to let everybody know that when I first went to your booth up at the farmers market, you had the bottle of the oil, and Dr. Chambers gave me like a little bit just to drink straight up, and I was thinking, are you crazy? I'm just going to sit here and drink oil. It tastes good. The straight oil that you have tastes really good. So don't be afraid of it. But in a more innovative, because it is omega-3 innovations, let's talk about the chocolate.
Yes.
Because who doesn't like chocolate?
Who doesn't like chocolate?
Right. Well, about 10% of the population does not like chocolate.
Well, there's
But-
something wrong with those people.
Right. But since Dr. Chalmers and I, we are very much into preventive medicine.
Yay!
And we believe that if you're going to really improve people's health and fight obesity, chronic inflammation, we have to outperform fast food, junk food, and so on with something that is tasting better and where people can feel a difference afterwards. If people are just told that this is good for you and you may feel the difference in maybe 5 or 10 years, it's not going to work. So we started looking at how can we combine our oil with other superfood ingredients. And we know that one is dark chocolates, the other one is oats, and then you have
Gluten-free
walnuts.
oats.
Yes.
Let me just say that it's gluten-free
'Cause-
oats, because
'cause-
most people know me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very anti-gluten,
Grains.
so
Absolutely.
Right.
And oats are gluten-free if they have not been contaminated during the processing.
Okay,
So, and then we use Greek yogurt. And the reason for that is that in the Greek yogurt you have probiotics. So,
Oh, good. Okay, that's good to know that there's probiotics in here.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a combination of what we call prebiotics, which is the same as fiber, and especially soluble fiber that people get too little of. And then it's probiotics that will help with the right bacteria. Then you have antioxidants that will come from walnuts and dark chocolates. Then you have
Walnuts are really good for your brain.
And then you have the Omega Cure, and it's all in high enough dose. So one bar like that is equivalent to a salmon dinner. And we have children eating it for breakfast, or people eat it before working out.
There you go. Now I'm going to put my little caveat in here because people know me. I would recommend you not eat an entire bar. You see this? What I've done is I cut it up into little pieces. There's 11 grams of sugar in this whole bar. In one sitting, I tell people let's stick around 5 grams of sugar per sitting. So I would recommend eating half and then maybe half later, or cut it up in these little bite-sized pieces like I did. Would you like to?
Sure, I'll try one.
She hasn't tried it yet. I've been eating it ever since I met you guys. It's creamy. It's like a fudge texture.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fudge.
It's kind of like a fudge. So it comes in these bars and these packets. And like I said, what I do is I just cut up in these little bite-sized pieces, and then I have like 2 of them at a time, and then maybe 2 later. You can have it for dessert. For those of you that insist on having, or like always are craving something sweet after you eat, this is perfect for dessert. For those of you that I've been recommending that you eat your larger meal earlier in the day because you're having trouble sleeping, this would be perfect to have like with a cup of tea in the evening. Like you said, so you're going to get those omega-3s, you're going to get your walnuts, you're going to get your antioxidants and whatnot. And go ahead and talk about, you have some other oil blends too, speaking of sleep. Talk about the other oil blends and the other, did you say something about cookies?
Yeah, we can use the same approach for making cookies, high in fiber and antioxidants. They will not contain the dark chocolate.
Oh.
So, but it will be basically working in the same way. And one study that is now being performed or done at the University of Texas, and a cancer clinic, a well-known cancer clinic in this country, they are looking at the interaction and synergy between our oil and the fiber. And in terms of prevention of colon cancer or treatment of colon cancer.
Oh, very cool.
What we believe more and more is the mechanism is that the ingredients that you will find in the Omega Passion or in the cookies or even Omega Cure by itself is that it will help the good bacteria flourish, and it will put a damper on the pathogenic bacteria that will be creating chronic inflammation. So everything starts with the oral or gut health. And by having this kind of combination and the synergy, you are getting what you are needing. And as I mentioned, one bar like that is the same as a salmon dinner. So this can replace people else the need of omega-3 from other sources.
Right, so let's talk about people that don't like fish. Let's talk about children. Let's talk about the elderly. Let's talk about people in facilities that, again, can't swallow those pills or have no desire to swallow those pills, but they'll eat chocolate. They'll eat the cookies. And I wasn't aware of the prebiotic and the probiotic and the fiber and all those benefits. That's amazing. That's just amazing that you're going to get all of that in a bar of chocolate. I think that's really good. Real quick, can you talk about, you had little vials of oil that had different blends in them. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Very especially excited about one presentation. And that is that we combine our Omega Cure cod liver oil with melatonin.
Okay.
And melatonin is fascinating because it's probably nature's best antioxidant and anti-inflammatory device.
And not just for sleep.
Yeah. People have this strange idea that, or it's not strange, but the idea that melatonin is a sleep medication. It's not a sleep medication, it's a sleep regulator. It makes sure that you are getting more effective sleep. And it's basically working through the system of regulating the rhythm of the body. And that rhythm is crucial for both the brain health and your digestion
Absolutely.
and every organ. And
Right.
even the bacteria in your body
Right.
is depending on the circadian rhythm.
Sounds like that's what I need.
Yes. When you mentioned your sleep before we came on air, I was like, oh, wait till you talk to him.
Yeah.
The two of you are going to be talking. Because you do have a formula that has melatonin in it.
That's correct.
And the capsules are, the vials have different levels of melatonin.
That's
in
correct.
them.
They all contain the same amount of omega-3. We know how much people typically need. It will be between 2 and 4 grams of EPA, DHA, the active omega-3
So go home,
component.
right. So go home and look at the bottles that you got from those big box stores you got from, the big chains and whatnot, and see how many milligrams or grams,
correct.
of omega-3s, the EPA and the DHA are actually in there. And then you're going to give these guys a call.
Yeah.
But go ahead and talk about the melatonin, and then we'll get your contact
So we
information.
know how much omega-3 most people need, and when people are given a prescription of omega-3 from the physician to lower triglycerides, it's typically a recommendation of 4 grams of EPA DHA.
Okay.
And in the vial we have 3 grams. But we see, because the oil is fresh and it's all natural balance, we see it's more potent in increasing the omega-3 content in the body than the prescription omega-3s. The challenge is, how much melatonin should you have? And it is not a question that more is better. Actually, if you're taking too much, what is going to happen is that you're going to start waking up often. You go back to
I don't
sleep.
take melatonin though.
Yeah.
But that's what happens to me is I go to sleep, and then 3-4 o'clock in the morning I wake up and can't go back to sleep. So
Right.
I'm not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
The first few hours is fine, but then when I wake up I'm done.
Yeah.
That's,
So typically, when that is the case, is that the whole rhythm of your body is out of balance, and that is what we have to try to restore. So what will be the best dose for you? You actually will have to test it out.
Right. Yeah.
And in some cases, we see that the 2 milligram is working. For other people, a 5 milligram or a 9 milligram. And when people are going through cancer treatment or heavy anti-inflammation treatment, we use up to 20 to 40 milligrams.
Wow.
And it's interesting that
Okay.
the world's leading melatonin experts, they quote or they say that they haven't even managed to kill a mouse with a huge dose of melatonin. So this is not a question of safety issues, but it's not a question of taking more is better, because we see that if you're taking too high dose, often people experience the opposite of what they wanted. They will have more interrupted sleep.
Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting.
So
And
there's
I thought that the only side effect from taking too much is that you were dopey in the morning, like you
No.
were feeling groggy in the
And
morning.
that's the other interesting discovery we made, and that was when we put the melatonin directly into the oil. It's very different from taking melatonin as a tablet. And when you take a tablet, it's only probably about 2 or 3% of the content in the tablet that is melatonin. The rest is a filler.
Okay.
And when we added the melatonin in its pure form directly into the oil, we saw it never gave any hangover the next day.
Got it.
And people seem to be much more refreshed during the day, which is actually what you are looking for. Not how many hours you are sleeping during
you
the
want to
night.
not feel tired when you get up.
That's
It's quality over quantity.
That's it.
To get into that deep restorative sleep that your body can do a little of that autophagy and do a little bit of that cleaning up of the damaged cells. Like I tell people, so that you don't wake up with the same damaged cells that you went to sleep with.
Yeah. So
Right.
one of the functions of melatonin is that it will lower the brain temperature. So it's slowing the metabolism in the brain.
Okay.
And that seemed to be very important. And it's also interesting to note that the highest concentration per area in your body is not in your brain, it's actually in your retina. And with enough melatonin in your eye, you would really have problems. And that again is why melatonin and the whole metabolism of melatonin is so important. And we see several challenges related to melatonin. Number one is when we are past the age of 35 to 40, our
We're barely
secretion,
Yeah.
right.
Barely over that.
Last year.
So our secretion of melatonin will drop dramatically, and
Yep.
lots of researchers believe that it is this decline of natural melatonin secretion and content in your body that is the sign of aging. And
I've been
one
telling you
of the
guys.
functions of melatonin is actually to protect the omega-3 from getting oxidized inside the body. And that is why freshness is so crucial. So what we then have is this vial combining
like this
omega-3, our omega cure, with melatonin. And people would take it half an hour before going to bed.
You just take it like a shot.
That's it.
That's it.
Just get it down, and within a few weeks, people start noticing a difference. Sometimes people can feel the difference in the sleep almost immediately, but to get some of the other positive effects, which would be, for example, preventing GERD, it
Ooh.
will, or sleep apnea, or snoring a lot, then you will need 4 or 5 weeks before you are seeing all those effects.
That makes sense because you don't get there overnight.
No.
Suzanne, you look like you have a question.
Yeah, you said that retina is, or that melatonin is highest in your retina. So would that be, you said there could cause a lot of problems. Would that be like retina detachment? Is that?
We are at this point. We are thinking more in terms of macular degeneration
I was
and
gonna say, 'cause
also
I had a-
glaucoma.
I had one of the little floaters that is related to your retina when it comes off, and I wondered, because now everything you're saying, I'm like, I think I need more melatonin.
Yeah.
It could be. And I had to.
Yeah. So we know that one of the challenges we have is that many people work during the night, having night shifts, and that is related. There is an association to increased risk of breast cancer. It is increasing the risk of mental disorders, dry eyes, and so on.
Let me speak to that just real quickly. All right. All you network
that
marketers out there. All right, I'm speaking directly to you guys. All you network marketers, all you guys that are doing mastermind groups, and guess what? Come 9 o'clock, you are not only wide awake, you are sitting in front of your computers. All right, this is talking directly to you people that are like between 9 and 10 and 9 and 11 o'clock at night. You are on your phones, you're in front of your laptops, you're on your iPads. This is why your sleep is a little disruptive. So this is why we're talking about the omega-3s and the melatonin at night. So this is really important for you folks. And we had talked about, I don't know if the segment today has aired yet on the, or did we even do it yet on the EMFs and the screens and the
No,
iPads?
we haven't done that yet.
Okay, to come in the future, we're going to talk about EMFs and the dangers of watching your iPads and your computer screens and whatnot, and how it continues for you to produce cortisol at the time of night when your body should be producing melatonin to help you sleep. All right, so unfortunately we're running out of time, so we're going to wrap this up. So doctor, if you can give us all of your contact information, of how all these good folks can get a hold of you.
Okay, we are located in Venice, Florida.
Woohoo!
727 Commerce Drive, and the telephone number is 941-485-4400, or you go into our website and it's called Omega3innovations.com. And we are the only ones in the whole world that has focused on freshness of the fish oil, because we believe that without freshness you are wasting your time and money. You don't want to eat old fish for dinner, so why would you take rancid fish oil?
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. And the products that you have this fabulous chocolate.
And it's not as sweet as
No.
fudge. So we talked about
Right.
it being like fudge, but it doesn't have that like sugary sweetness of fudge. So it's
the
much
creamy, right? It's the creaminess of the fudge, but not as much as the sweetness.
Yeah.
You would think. And cookies, and then you have the oil that's actually in a
the
bottle, and then the vials that have
and the vials, pre-measured, making sure that people are getting what they are needing.
Right.
So,
and did you give your phone number also?
yeah.
Give it one more time.
One more time.
Okay, 941-485-4400.
Great. And I want to thank you so much for being here. This just
Thank
has
you.
got me so excited. And you know me, I'm very solution oriented, and when I kept hearing from my clients that they cannot take the omega-3 capsules, and then I found these guys and I'm like, this is the perfect solution for all of that. I encourage everyone to try their omega-3 innovations, their the oil, get it into your system, strengthen your brain. This is Bethany Stockdale, Your Total Body Wellness Center, 800 East Venice Avenue, Suite C, here in Venice. And I'm so happy you're in Venice too. We'll have to talk. 34285. My phone number here is 941-468-7091. And my partner in Supercharging Your Health is...
I'm Suzanne with Discount Med Direct, 2414 Tamiami Trail, Unit 1, Import Charlotte. Our phone number is 941-421-7155. Or if you're way down there in Cape Coral and you're listening to us, 239-677-3559. I may be following him back to his office to get some of that, because I definitely think I need some. And this has been Supercharge Your Health.
All right, go forth. Supercharge.